Hi, I'm Teryn. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the season finale of Lovecraft Country, which is titled Full Circle. If you haven't watched my other videos on the Lovecraft Country costume design breakdowns, be sure to check them out. I will put a link in the description box. Okay, so the season finale of Lovecraft Country, it has been a week and a day since the season finale. I'm just going to kind of go through my thoughts. Not really a reaction or anything, but just like what I think is going to happen for the second season, how I perceive the ending. I do think there were some plot holes. I don't know if it's going to be a season 2 thing. In the Holy Ghost episode, Letty had a rap sheet, and I think in this last episode, Letty tells Ruby like I was in jail, and that's why she couldn't come home from Mama's funeral. So maybe that's going to be mentioned in the second season.
I forgot to mention that Letty's an activist, which is probably why she was arrested.
I would also like to understand or know how Dora died. We know she passed, but I don't think they ever like explicitly say how she passed away. Were there some plot holes? Yeah, but I'm hoping that we'll explore them more in season 2. I had to rewatch the episode with Yima, and I just felt like that was so... like, what was the point? I just don't see the point in bringing this character in, making them like, oh, she can help us. And it just didn't develop enough for me. It was literally one and done. Yima came onto the screen, died 20 minutes later, if that. Nisha Green did mention like how she didn't really develop that character arc. Gia comes back. Well, she's still there in Chicago because she doesn't want Tick to die. Letty doesn't want Tick to die. The two women that love him, that are living the most, are there to help him, and it's just he's really not paying them no kind of attention. Maybe in the next season we might get to explore like Gia some more. That would be cool.
I also wonder if the scene in Tit's future Geosol has any significance. It could be a part of the next season.
I don't know if it's pronounced Slogif or Slogif.
It's not Slogif, it's actually Shoggoth.
I'm just gonna say Slogus in this video are white in the first episode, which is titled Sundown. They're white, but then Tick's, the one that he has some kind of power control over, is black. And then in the season finale, you see that the white Slogus come after Dee, but then the black one comes and saves them. And Gia is like soaking in and like seeing all the cycle of life. We see that Tick was showing Dee the slug and like how to train it, and we see at the end comes hers, and she's wearing like her dad's shirt. She's wearing like the blue and green shirt that her dad wore in the second episode, and then she's wearing like his red jacket. I saw like something on Twitter where they think Slogif is George, and some people think it's Montrose. If you remember, there's one episode, I think it's Whitey's on the Moon, where Christina delivers a black Slogif out of the cow, and I was wondering if that Slogif is Tick's Slogif because they're both black. So I don't know if that's part of like the full circle effect as well, because as we saw in the episode before the season finale, was it that one or was it the one before that one? The Slogif comes up and attacks Tick from the racist cops. When it comes to Dee, I'm so glad she kind of called out her mom and communicated the fact that they weren't there for her. She wasn't there for her. Nobody was really there for her when she was going through all this trauma. And so glad that she was able to be the final scene of the episode. Her being able to kill Christina. We know that her father was the first death of the series. I think she was just kind of avenging his death, and she was the root of everything. Like, Christina put all these things into play to try to get to what she wanted, and she didn't get what she wanted. And I think that scene with her really getting to where she wanted to be off the blood, literally on the backs and the blood of black people, I think that was definitely symbolic. And then again with the white privilege, like Christina at the end is like, Dee, calling her by her nickname like they're just homegirls. Thinking Dee's gonna save her. Like, Dee is missing an arm because of you, basically. You think she's gonna pick up these rocks?
I also wanted to point out that in the time travel episode, Dee is the one that hands Tick the book and pushes him back into the portal.
I noticed how like in that fight scene with like Gia, Montrose, and Hippolyta had all that training when she was going through time. She was with the Amazons. in Africa. She was handing out to those people. But here's what I don't get. Like, the village, Artem, who in the heck are those like weird people? Like, who are they? They like, didn't speak. They became an army. Like, I know they're like somehow tied to the Break White family, but it's like, who are they? Like, why did they just, like, are they fake people? Like, were they made up? Like, I don't know. They're like slaves, white slaves at the Break White Lodge. I want to get into Ruby and Christina because I knew Ruby was going to come through and try to protect her family, because I think at some point she knew that Letty would want to have a family and she doesn't want. Ruby definitely gets into respectability politics, so I definitely see her as like wanting to at least keep Letty's little family together. I know some people are calling Letty selfish for like her mentioning to Ruby in the cemetery that she would need her help, but I don't know if it's necessarily selfish. Like, maybe yes, she was selfish for like wanting her sister to risk her life to save her, but it's also, to me, Ruby could have asked for backup if she wanted it. She's very independent, wants to do things her own way, but she does kind of prescribe to wanting to appeal to white people, as we see. I don't necessarily think it was bad. Like, do I think she cared for Christina / William? I guess. If Ruby set out to try to help her sister, she did ask for help. But I think Ruby might have just been confident in the fact that like she's dealt with magic before. She's been able to morph into a white person, so I don't know if she just felt like, I know magic too, I don't need your help. I know Christina better than you, I don't need your help. I don't necessarily see it as selfish. Of course, Letty is going to ask for help to go against Christina. Christina is the villain here. I don't know why. Some people are thinking the villain is Ruby. Christina is and was the villain of the show. As I'm rewatching, Ruby feel like she deserved better, and I'm like, she did. But I'm like, did Ruby know that she deserved better? Did she know that? Because, I mean, 1955, there's going to be a ton of respectability politics. It's going to be a lot with people trying to appeal to the white world and trying to be included in the white world. And there's going to be people that, like, totally don't want that and just want to be on their own.
To this day!
I think Ruby needed to know that she deserved better than to be treated like that. At some point, William, as Christina, had Ruby acting as the help. It was all a game to get Christina what she wanted, which was immortality, and then boom, she didn't get it. At what cost? Like, Tick is in there. I feel like Tick is going to come out. That's basically why I came to say this video. I miss George. If there's a way to bring him back, I would bring him back. Ruby, I would bring her back too. I would like to see like Ruby come back and she like ditched the respectability politics. She was a strong black woman, but she was a strong black woman that was trying to conform. And I just felt like she didn't know how to just be herself. Someone pointed out that the song in the first episode, Ruby's like, no one wants to hear that lily white shaboom.
Ruby refused to perform Shaboom, Life Could Be a Dream in the first episode, but happily sung it on the car ride to Artem.
Christina really bummed a ride to Artem. Been driving around in this Bentley this whole time and she bummed a ride to Artem with us too. I was like, that's so white. That's so like stereotypical white privilege. Christina represented white privilege throughout this whole series. Even when she's in that fight scene with Letty, she pushes Letty out the window. In the flashback, we see with Gia and Christina and like Tix, like she's holding their bodies. She brings Letty back to life under a spell because she, and it's supposed to show like she really cared about Ruby. Like, who cares?
Mind you, this is now the second time Letty has died and been resurrected.
Like, did she kill Ruby? I don't know. Like, is Ruby gonna come back? I don't know. I mean, they do have all the magic now. To get into like my main reason for this video is why I think that Tick is going to come back. I feel like the whole season spent a great deal focusing on generational trauma through the lineage of Tick, Montrose's dad, and how Montrose's dad beat Montrose beat Tick. And I know that Tick is going to have a son that's going to be named George Freeman. I feel like the show did so much on trying to break that generational trauma for them to just kill Tick off without giving him a chance to raise his son and do better than what he and his father had. I feel like it would just be like, what's the point? And having all this trauma, is Letty just gonna be a single mother?
Maybe Letty will break her own generational curse in raising her child. We know that Letty did not have the best mother.
I just feel like Tick has to come back in order to break that generational trauma. I just don't see the point in like having so many episodes, having flashbacks, hearing the sounds of Tick getting beat as a child. Like, Tick has to come back. That's why I think he's gonna come back. If Tick does come back, like, is he gonna try to like pick between Gia and Letty? I think he would pick Letty because it's the mother of his child, and Gia's kind of a little bit too supernatural for him, maybe.
Perhaps Montrose will have the chance to right his wrongs by doing better and helping to raise little George.
And also, like, for season 2, in the 4th episode, I believe, when they're gonna go to Boston, Montrose mentions how he says, you got rid of one lodge, but there's 34 more to go. And we also see that there's that meeting at the police headquarters. They're talking about the lodges. Are the other lodges gonna come after the magic, since it should have been removed from everyone, as we see? But he mentions how there's 34 lodges, and he's like, are you gonna get rid of those? But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see like what season 2 is.
I have a theory that Letty's dad is white and could be a part of the order but housed under a different lodge.
And I also liked how the show focused so much on the maternal side. When, I don't want to call it like a seance, but when they're trying to call to get rid of Titus, you see like Tick's mother, her mother, great something, I don't know the exact lineage, but it's like all the women there. And then it's like, so Letty, because she now has the blood of her child in her, she's a part of that too. Personally, people don't believe me when I say this, but when Tick was speaking through the fire to Hannah, I knew she didn't want the magic to be in the hands of white people when she was having that conversation. I picked up on that. People don't believe me when I say that, but I'm really good at guessing stuff.
I wanted to end this video by saying despite their rocky relationship, it was a letter from Montrose that led Tick back home to Chicago to search for him. In the end, it was a letter from Atticus to Montrose wishing that he experienced supreme happiness by taking a second chance in raising his child to break the generational curse. Full circle.
Thank you for watching this video. I hope you come back for more. Please remember to like and subscribe for more content. Thank you.